Well, it's been 2 years. Normally, I try to come up with some sort of a script or something to talk about me. It's my channel, after all. And to be fair, for any of you watching this, wondering if it was worth it, allow me the opportunity to answer that question in a moment. My dears, it's been... Well, it's my second HRT anniversary. I know it's not been long at all, only 2 years. And some things are a little different. Some things have unfortunately stayed the same. Can't win them all. But what I would like to do is tell you all a story. I know I've told it probably 100 times, probably a little bit of 100 different ways, but it's one of my favorites to tell. In May of 2023, my best friend in the world, we'll call him D, decided to come visit me in Kissimmee. And I was having a lot of gender feelings at the time. I had been talking to this person up in Canada. They're very active on Telegram. And, sorry, I got a nose itch. What followed for the next few years between Hope Ironheart and myself was a correspondence about gender and transitioning and a lot of questions that I had. And then my friend D came to visit me. The catalyst to all of this was trying on girls' jeans for the first time. I then went screaming to Hope online. I tried on jeans. Oh my God, I have a figure. I have a butt. Oh my God, I feel this way. What is this? Why do I feel good looking at myself in the mirror? And she said, darling, that's called gender euphoria. Okay. So time progresses. What do I do now? Go to a doctor. And in secret, I went to a doctor. And it was at where I worked at the time at Walt Disney World. They had their own gender clinic. And I see the doctors. They tell me what all's going to happen to me on what timeline and everything. And what to expect. They took my blood. They called me a few days later. Here's your test results. We're going to put you on 50 milligrams Spiro, 2 milligrams estrogen. But, Mr. Raccoon, we would like for you to talk to the Gaia Center. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Gaia Center is Walt Disney World Sperm Bank. It's at Celebration, but it's a whole reproductive sciences clinic dedicated to gynecology, urology, boy doctor, girl doctor, that kind of stuff. And they wanted me to talk to the Gaia Center before starting Spiro, because Spiro can leave you chemically castrated. If you go off of it, yeah, eventually boy parts come back after a long suppression. Sometimes they come back in full, depending upon how long you've been on it. Sometimes they never cease to fully come back. So whatever semen sample you leave behind is probably infertile or at risk of being infertile. So I waited. I called the Gaia Center that day and I said, I need an appointment. They'll see me in August, July, August, something like that. I want to say it was August. And there I am holding these pills. These little pills that were going to change my life. And on the morning of June 19th, 2023, I couldn't wait any longer. And that morning I took one dose of spironolactone, one little tiny blue pill of estradiol, whatever you call it, and placed it under my tongue. And I let it dissolve. And I kept wondering, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Oh my God, what's going to happen? And what am I going to look like? Are my breasts going to be big? Will I actually get thighs? I hope. The gender doctor asked me at first, he said, what are your goals? And I said, I want to lose about 2 feet in height. And he goes, well, that's not fucking happening. Okay. I hate being tall. But time goes on. I took my pills that morning with the understanding that it would be about 3 months before you saw the first real sign of anything. As I want to say, my breasts began to bud around 2 months in, maybe. It was this little bump the size of a quarter. Felt like someone had put something under the fat tissue. And at first I thought, oh shit, I've got breast cancer. God damn it. The only person trying this shit and I get breast cancer immediately. Fucking god damn it. And I drove that morning listening to my music, as I always did, very loudly. And then the queerest of things happened. I arrived that morning at Fuel Inspect and Wash at Disney, up at Car Care Center, which was our dispatch office and training. And I parked my car. As I get out, one of our other trainers is there. We'll call him V. And V is standing in the parking lot getting out of his car. Now remember, my darlings, what I was told was it would be 3 whole months before I saw anything. What came out of this man's mouth next, I really wish I had listened better, because it was very much a shock and surprise to me. I had decided at this time not to tell anyone. I had told my birth mother at the time I was transitioning, and I was not allowed to tell my father after that. I was not allowed to tell my sister. She might take my mother's grandbabies away from her. My mother had a lot of value placed in her image, vicariously through her children. I'm just now able to talk about these. And V looked at me that morning and he goes, now, this man was an important figure. Hell, let's just call it what it was. He was a captain at Fire Department of New York, FDNY. He's a good man. He's a fucking good man. Such a great man. Such a good person. Funny, gregarious, humorous. Oh, generous, devious. He looked at me and he said, "Hey, what'd you do this morning? You're glowing. You look good." Now, all that's playing in my brain at this moment is they said it would be 3 months. They said it would be 3 months before anyone noticed. Holy shit, what the fuck? And he was the de facto first person outside of my mother in the medical profession to know. The first of my friend group. I panicked and I told him, I said, I'm transitioning. He goes, to what? Into a girl. Oh, well, you know I still love you, right? If you're watching, I can't tell you how much that meant. How much that absolutely meant at that moment. That someone at a very vulnerable time, that meant a lot. I just want you to know that. I don't know if you'll ever see this. You're a fucking great human being, you know that? I fucking love you with all my heart, Benny. You're a mensch. You're a fucking mensch, you know that? You told a person at their most vulnerable the exact words they needed to hear. You will always be my brother. In time, and let me slip back into it. Me. There it is. It's been an hell of a 2 years. There's been a lot of bumps on the road. There's been a lot of bridges burned. Under the bus, as some would say. But I forgive you. I can't imagine how it must feel. And maybe it's a bridge I'll have to cross one day on my own. How do I end this? Well, I could say stay devious. I could finish it the way I used to with keep your stick on the ice. But I think I'll end this. Oh, this one. There'll be more videos after this, my loves. But I believe the Valkyrie were here. She would utter those immortal words. She's tried very hard to etch into my heart. Onwards to Valhalla, my dears.